And welcome. This is TVC News at 4. We are staying with the arrest of the president of the Niger Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, by operatives of the Department of State Services. In a statement by the NLC's Head of Information and Public Affairs, Benson Okpa, the union announced that Mr. Ajaero was on his way to the United Kingdom on the invitation of the Trade Union Congress of Britain when he was picked up at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The NLC President was to attend and address the global gathering of workers at the Congress of the Trade Union in the UK, a platform where critical discussions on workers' rights, social justice, and economic fairness are discussed. Following Mr. Ajaero's arrest, the NLC has put up all its affiliates, state councils, and civil society allies on alert. Joe Ajaero's arrest and detention is coming about 1 week after he honored an invitation by the police over an investigation into terrorism financing. Let's talk politics. The National Executive Council of the Labour Party has reviewed the decision of the National Convention to reserve its presidential ticket to Peter Obi and governorship slot for Alex Otti. The party says it condemns in strong terms the convener of the meeting in Abia State, which according to them is built on illegality. It insists all the outcome of the meeting is a nullity, and the party is hereby dissociating itself from the convener and the resolutions passed. The National Executive Council then passed a vote of confidence in the leadership of Julius Abure-led National Working Committee. To Zamfara State, where the Emir of Dansidao says the decision by locals to take up arms against bandits and kidnappers to complement the efforts of security agencies is yielding the desired results. He says this move has made it possible for farmers to return to farms they abandoned more than 10 years ago due to banditry. Theophilus Darufai reports.
Dansadao in Maru local government area of Zamfara State is one of the hotbeds for banditry and kidnapping, with lots of bandit hideouts. Thousands have been killed, properties worth millions of naira destroyed, unspecified number of persons abducted in the area, with many still in captivity. Both civilians and security operatives have had a taste of the dead devil armed gang attacking checking points and military formations, but the tide seems to be changing gradually, as the Emir of Dansadao, in an interview with TVC News, says the decision by the locals to take up arms against bandits to a large extent, helping many locals to return to their farms after many years.
Even myself, I involved myself in farming for the very first time in my life. So it is good, it is okay. Almost everywhere people did their farming peacefully and successfully. You know, one of the things that help us is most of the people take arms in order to defend their villages and so on. So that has contributed a lot. Fulani will not have access to come. At the end of the day, they will also not have access to come and devour crops. I was made to understand by some of my district head that they have a place that has not been farmed for more than 10 years now has been put into use this year.
The traditional ruler further describes the activities of bandit collaborators to as even worse than the banditry itself.
One of the major problems we have is the issue of informant. They are the major problem. In fact, without informant, there will ever not be any bandit. So it is the presence of informant that bring about banditry activities in this area. And we have also been using prayers in all these things, conniving with the Fulani people, giving them information about people, you know, even directing them. Sometimes they even lead them to go and attack our people, which is terribly bad.
The paramount ruler of the Dansadao Emirate commends the resilience of Governor Dodolol and security agencies in ensuring the return of peace in the area and other troubled zones in the state. Theophilus Darufai, TVC News, Gusau.
Elsewhere, the Commissioner for Women Affairs in Katsina State, Hadiz Ayaradoa, has embarked on a hospital tour to identify key areas for intervention on maternal and child care. Abdulatif Yusuf has details.
The new initiative is targeted to improve the living standard of women and children, especially the vulnerable and the disabled, to give them immediate assistance in hospitals. The visit to health facilities is intended to allow the Commissioner to undertake on-the-spot assessment of female patients receiving care at various hospitals.
We're here just to assess, to see how we as the ministry can facilitate whatever help the hospital needs in terms of having adequate facility that will help in the maternity ward. To be specific, we want to look at the aftercare services after delivery, especially for the women C-section. We want to look at the environment, their mental state, what do they need in terms of aftercare, what does the hospital need as well.
The commissioner is also concerned about the mortality rate during birth for not being able to pay for CS or other emergency operations.
35,000 naira is what is separating a woman between life and death. Our honorable members, this is something that they need to look into as a project. They go around the hospitals or their wives or local chairman. We have to do it.
It was also an opportunity for the commissioner to interact with the patients and the hospital's management. The team also took time to pay homage to the Emir of Daura in his palace, restating its determination to improve women and children welfare. In a response, the Emir of Daura, Farouk Umar Farouk, expressed his support to the new initiative and thanked the government for its policies and programs. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
Away from that, President Bola Tinubu has condoled with families of victims and the Niger state government following a devastating petrol tanker explosion on the Bida-Agai-Lapai road, which has claimed more than 59 lives. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, President Tinubu pledged support for those affected and directed relevant federal agencies to collaborate with state government to improve road safety and infrastructure across the country. The tragic incident, which occurred on Sunday, involved a petrol tanker and a truck loaded with cattle and passengers. Several people were injured and properties damaged in the explosion. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency earlier today confirmed that the number of casualties has risen to 59, adding that one of the 8 survivors of the incident died today at the Federal Medical Center, Bida. The agency also said more dead bodies could be discovered in the process of the continued evacuation. May their souls rest in peace. Now, as part of efforts to engage the younger generation in environmental conservation, the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency and the Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency have held a one-day summer boot camp for children. General Manager of LASEPA, Babatunde Ajayi, says the boot camp aims to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of nature among children while inculcating them with sustainable environmental best practices.
Mostly learned by activities and fun. So the program today has been very engaging. They've also learned how to protect the natural resources in terms of the kind of animals. They shouldn't be killing animals indiscriminately. They've also learned how to recycle.
We're hoping to make sure that children imbibe the knowledge of the environment. We're hoping to make sure that children are able to first learn it, secondly transmit to their friends, thirdly they live what they have learned. So things around recycling, things around upcycling. One of the booths has children making seats, like chairs, from waste paint buckets and foam, right? So it is just imbibing those simple things, then making sure that they are deliberate about not polluting the environment, green mobility. They are able to walk short distances and not start crying or I want to get into the car. You know, they're able to ride their bicycles so that they reduce pollution in the environment.
And that's it on TVC News at 4. Thank you for watching. There is more on our website, www.tvcnews.tv. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Our handle is at TVC News NG. We're streaming live on YouTube at TVC News Nigeria, and we have plenty of updates on WhatsApp at TVC News Nigeria. Thank you again for watching. Next is Sports Desk.